We begin 7 months after previous events in a world devastated by green poison, a potent smallpox strain engineered and released in New York City by an environmental terrorist. Green poison became a pandemic, resulting in casualties and chaos on a global scale. Facing imminent social collapse, the United States government activated a contingent of domestic sleeper agents called the Strategic Homeland Division, or SHD, also known as the Division, to preserve order and the continuity of government. Division agents leverage advanced technology and wide autonomy to deal with threats as they see fit. They are supplemented in the field with an advanced AI system called ISAC, or Intelligent System Analytic Computer. Most government and military personnel have evacuated Washington, D.C., which has descended into lawlessness. The White House is controlled by local division agents and a coalition of first responders called the Joint Task Force, or JTF, working to protect civilians and reestablish order. However, most of D.C. has been carved into territories controlled by three competing militias. The Hyenas, a loose coalition of gangs, criminals, and anarchists taking advantage of the chaos for amusement and profit. The Outcasts, fanatical survivors of severe quarantines during the onset of the pandemic, seeking revenge on those they believe responsible for their imprisonment and eventual infection. And the True Sons, a highly organized and ruthless group of disgruntled JTF, U.S. Armed Forces, and paramilitary mutineers led by Colonel Antoine Ridgway, who believes that security can only be restored through brutal authoritarianism. Additionally, the acting president of the United States, Andrew Ellis, is considered missing or killed in action since Air Force One crash-landed near Capitol Hill. Several division agents are defending a civilian settlement from a bandit attack when the SHD network, the system controlling their advanced technology and nationwide communications, suddenly shuts down. The agent receives a division distress call from D.C. as a new and larger force begins to attack the settlement. At a fellow agent's urging, she abandons the battle to respond to the call. The agent arrives in D.C. to find the division and JTF's local base of operations, the White House, under attack by the Hyenas. After repelling the attack, the agent is briefed by Manny Ortega, the city's division controller. The agent learns that most of the country's leadership is either dead or missing, and the city is mostly controlled by the three hostile factions, the Hyenas, the Outcasts, and the True Sons. Ortega instructs the agent to work with her fellow agent, Alani Kelso, to assist civilian settlements, liberate the city, and restore the SHD network. Ortega and Kelso uncover information that a cure to green poison might be located somewhere in the city, and that President Ellis may have survived the crash of Air Force One, but is being held prisoner. Kelso is reluctant to spend time and resources to locate Ellis, but Ortega points out that a security clearance may be needed to access the cure. The agent eventually discovers Ellis and rescues him from hyena custody. Ellis confirms that the broad-spectrum antivirals exist and can cure not only green poison, but all viral infections. However, he can only access them with a special briefcase currently held in the True Sons' heavily fortified base at the United States Capitol. After the agent repairs the SHD network, reconnecting division agents across the country, Ellis vows to restore the United States, no matter the cost. As the odds become less in their favor, the Hyenas, True Sons, and Outcasts retreat to their final strongholds. With the help of civilian militias and the JTF, the agent assaults the strongholds and eliminates the leadership of most of the factions, along with recovering Ellis's briefcase from the Capitol. However, the Outcast leader, Emmeline Shaw, disappears during the assault on her stronghold at Roosevelt Island. As the agent and the division celebrate their victory, a new faction, the technologically advanced private military company called Black Tusk, invades the city. Many of DC's landmarks are quickly seized, and Ellis suddenly goes missing with his briefcase, forcing the agent to head out with the goal of finding Ellis and repelling Black Tusk. The agent eventually learns that Black Tusk supplied weapons to the gangs of DC and were responsible for sabotaging the SHD network. Also, that Ellis has been working with Black Tusk all along, and that Ellis's predecessor, President Mendez, did not commit suicide as previously believed, but was assassinated by his own Secret Service detail on Black Tusk's orders. Thanks to Ellis, Black Tusk gains possession of the broad-spectrum antivirals, planning to transport them out of the city. The agent successfully raids Black Tusk's stronghold at Tidal Basin, retrieving the antivirals and preventing a missile strike on the White House, although Ellis's location remains unknown.